problem is there in that part. Okay, so one question comes from Ben, that what are the differences we have about PowerShell versus terminal versus command prompt. And even if we are using a Mac, so there also we have the when you search for the some files, so there you will get a terminal. Okay, so what are this is, and also maybe you heard that about bash, correct? So see, in all of this, the first thing is that command prompt, if we talk about, it is a very limited feature, and it's dedicated only to Windows platform, because it is designed on .NET architecture framework, like that's a .NET language actually, you can say, because the whole thing is only used for the Windows environment. There is a nothing, you can see this is Windows only. So it's a proprietary product that is created for the Windows operating system only. So that is a private one and only dedicated for the Windows. Now later in Windows 10, or you can say Server 2008, Windows have introduced the PowerShell. It's a combination of, you can say, the open source and Windows feature included. So it's an open source terminal, just like we have others like the terminal as well as the bash. Okay, so it's an open source, and it also supports Linux commands also. Linux command also. So that's what we call the PowerShell. PowerShell have its own whole command set of series is available. When you type on Windows or Windows 11, just like your PowerShell, you will get two type of PowerShell. The first, you can say, it's 164-bit, and this is a 32-bit that we call a /86 or architecture. So if you click the first one, this is how it's open. So you can see here same concept is there, just like a command prompt, but before that you can see PS is used to showcase that it's a PowerShell, and this is all modules that are supported by Windows environment. The disable some information, add generally PowerShell is more dedicated and more used in server environment, in cloud environment, to enable to disable some feature, to install some software or services. So dedicated to that, PowerShell is introduced to make Windows operating system more lightweighted or more command oriented, correct, just like a Linux environment. Okay, so there this PowerShell was introduced, and this is all the features supported, which is dedicated to Windows, but it's open source, so we can also run some of the basic commands that we have, like mkdir are not there. You can use pwd just like that. So Linux command is also supported as well as Windows environment. Okay, so that's the combination of hybrid model, you can say, that PowerShell we have. Then we got something terminal and bash. So terminal is main particular interaction, what we also call as a shell. Shell was previously it is called as, because shell we have different kind of shells are available. K shell is there, Bourne shell is there, then we have C shell is there. Okay, these are the shells that introduced at the time of when we are developing the Unix and Linux operating system in the earliest days of 90s, 2000, that year. So these are the particularly we are using. C shell is for the when we are writing some commands, like the shell is created in C program. Bourne shell was there, K shell was there, and now as a present in Linux we using bash shell. That is more efficient, more interactive, and it's a colorful when we are using it. If I showcase you, like if you talk about K shell, the shell, so they are running on the server side, like they are not that much interactive. How? Let me showcase you there. I think no. Let me showcase you one Ubuntu server which I have set up. So that is only learned in a command line. There is no graphical, nothing is there, only the command line actually. Okay, so they are not that much interactive. Now they have modified, because it's an open source community. So Linux designed, developed by lots of different developers. Even we can also learn and redevelop our own custom Linux operating system. That is also possible, but of course same time we have to learn different programming language to make it more efficient, correct? So The current is we are using bash, which is more efficient, more command supportive, and easy to use. Also, we can filter out the color combination, just like in Kali. Whenever we type some command, it gives some reference like green color, blue color. This other thing is not supported on the key shell or bone shell at that time. Like it's an evolution of the different parts. So here you can see this is the one I have. It's Ubuntu server which I running, Ubuntu Linux server, the server side operating system. So it is dedicated only command line. There is no graphic you have. You can see this is how it's called the booting process, like how the machine is booting in the background, just like in Mac or Windows also happen. In Windows the weight of circle it is coming. Here you can see it's latest we have Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, that is server. So here you will only get this command line, only command line. There is no we can increase the font, there is no nothing we can do. It's a simple command line font that you will get it. So everything it depends on the command. So this kind of operating system we dedicatedly use on the back end, on the data center, on the IT companies physical infrastructure, because it is lightweight and we can manage it properly. Of course, that is the first thing. And second is that the security will be enhanced in this kind of environment. The reason is that if you talk about, so generally if you see Windows and Mac are graphical, that we call as a GUI, graphical user interface. So see, whenever a developer creating some application, the number of lines of code is increased when we are creating the same software or some utility in a graphical approach. Got it? If we talk about Notepad, it's a very easy tool to use. It just create a note, and it's supposed a different file system, but the normal file system we save in the doc text file. Okay, but at the same time, if I talk about that, instead of you use Notepad, you can go with the Microsoft Word Office. Okay, so which is more better, which is more easy to use? If you talk about Notepad, is very easy to use, but it is don't have features about creating images, chart file, tables we cannot create in Notepad. It's just have to note something we are learning and we just do note, that's it. But there at same time what have more features are available, correct? But it also increase the complexity of the code, because we are writing more number of lines of code. So at the same time there is a more chance of finding more bugs comparing with the Notepad. Okay, so that's how the things develop about the applications and softwares. Okay, so these are the differences you can see. PowerShell is again a new area to work on. Maybe in future if you continue with the cybersecurity to getting job and working on more advanced part, so there is a PowerShell scripts also we have to build, just like in Kali Linux or Linux we create bash scripting concept is there. To create your own custom small programs to rebuild application, that thing. Okay, so these are the differences we have available. I think I got the answer. Any question in this particular part, let me know. All good? Yeah. Now let's jump to the Neville's question, how the thing is looking. So this is the command line. Let me just shut down this thing. Okay, and I will resume this one. This is also Ubuntu, but this is a desktop side that we use as a client side end user desktop. So this is a graphical. There you can see. So it is also the Ubuntu machine. Just like you can see, we have the terminal and then the graphic and all the applications. You will get all the applications just like this. So this is a Ubuntu graphical. That is a desktop side. But what I have showcased is the previous one. This CyberBank by name, you can see this is the particular command line that we have. So this is the desktop which we are using as an end user, and this is the particular command line. Okay, so let me just shut down this. Okay, now let's jump to the Kali platform. Okay, so here you can see in the new update of the Kali machine 2022, they have introduced the PowerShell also, because it's open source. So there also you can use the same PowerShell. Here you can see this it's look like. like Kali terminal and then PS is same. We can also use the same commands that we can also use in the Windows. Okay, but when we are doing Windows hacking or advanced hacking about the Windows platform, so we need to get the access, or we need to create our own custom programs that will exploit Windows environment. So to do that thing, Offensive Security is a company who developed this or maintaining the Kali operating system. So they have introduced PowerShell also, the new feature. Okay, and after that you can see we have a normal terminal emulator, which is just open as a normal Kali user when you click on the black color. Okay, so it will look like this thing, Kali at the Kali dollar. While when you are opening the PowerShell, so it will be like this thing, Kali at the Kali, but there should be one PS. Okay, before the anything you will start. And when you log in as a normal user as a Kali, it will showcase as this dollar sign. Or even you can use any other user, it will always showcase as a dollar. Okay, and then it will come one more terminal that is in red. So that will showcase as a root terminal. So here it will ask password because now we are accessing as a root. So always root, even a normal browser or normal other operating system, root is the main highest permission or the access you can have. Root you can say as a main owner of the machine. Okay, so it will always showcase as a hash, that thing. Okay, so these are the three terminals, or you can say bash shell, you will get it on the Kali platform. And even you can see the color combinations are different. Okay, like this, different color combinations. Okay, now whenever you open a particular any kind of any terminal, you can just type the first command. Remember that we call pwd, like at which place we are working in the whole environment of the Linux platform. Okay, so that thing you have to understand. Now Kali is a normal user, so it's have its own working space that comes into the home folder, and then it's a Kali folder. But root have its own root directory, that's why it is giving that /root. Okay, so first of all you have to check that at which directory or the folder you are working. So you can always type pwd to check that thing. Okay, so I will close this PowerShell, we don't have to use it right now, so don't worry, this is the normal tool we have. The first is a root, so it will showcase as a hash, and any other user apart from root, it always showcases a dollar. Like yesterday I think we have created some user or not, let me check. Okay, we have deleted that user, no problem. So we'll add user. Okay, the ask and password that I will showcase. So the differences is got it about the hash and this thing I will write here also. In any kind of Linux or Unix operating system, dollar will reflect as any normal or guest user, while hash will always denote as you can take any operating system of Linux environment. We have different. Okay, so that is the thing we have to do. That's the first thing. Now the second question that I think we have got it. So let me close. There you can go. Okay, so I will switch here by you can see when you are a root user, you can switch to any user without a password because root is the owner. So that particular user can travel anywhere in the system and it will not require any kind of password. You can install any application, run, delete any application software, because that is the owner of the whole Linux environment. But when we log in as a normal user, we require a root password. Okay, so there you can see if I use su to switch user to Kali machine, so you can see it not ask password, but to switch root it asks password that we have to provide it. But I think we don't have the root password, so we have to use the particular authentication field, because as a normal, if we don't have the access, we don't get the root access. That is the thing. Now the third type of users that will come in between normal user and root user, that will also call as a pseudo user. That is also reflect as a this thing, but this is called as a pseudo user. it is normal user, but we have given special privileges permission to act as root user. So that what we call as a pseudo user. It's something you have a special permission, or you can say in place of root user, you can act as a root user to perform the activity and other stuff. So that what we call as a pseudo user. So pseudo user right now is acting by the Kali. Here you can see when I type a normal, I cannot able to switch. But if I use here sudo su and I am switching to root, it will ask the password for Kali user. I will provide the Kali user, and there you can see we have switched to root user. Okay. So this concept is understood by everybody. Let me know. This you are switching from one user profile to another user profile with the help of simple command. So this is the thing is understood by the everybody. That let me know. Any question in this part? Anybody? Yeah. Now this is the thing that we used to just kind of a role part we are changing in the Linux with the help of Kali. Okay. So whenever you let's suppose I will create more user add. I am just creating a Ben user. I think no, that is not. Let me just delete that first, so we can create a proper one. Add user by the name Ben, and then I will ask the password. All this stuff is done. Click yes. Now see, I will switch to Ben without providing the password. But if I want to change to the root, it will ask for the root password. And as a Ben, I don't know the root password. Even I can do any hit enter method and hit enter. It will showcase a error or authentication fail. Okay. So that means Ben is not acting as a pseudo user. Even if I use sudo Ben, not Ben, sorry, the su root sudo switching to root user, and it will ask the Ben password. So if I type, you can see Ben is not a sudo or file. What we call as a pseudo user. Sudo is a one file location that we have. There we define that particular who is the actual what we say the sudo file can be there available. So the entry is available on this file location. That if you want to add some more users, you can add. Let me showcase you. So if I go to the cd etc, this is a directory where we do all kind of configurations related files of the softwares and application, all that thing. Okay, so there you can see this is the sudo.conf, and this is a sudo is available, and this is a .d. It's a daemon file. You can see lots of softwares is having this .d. Okay, so whenever you see any service or application which is showing d or maybe the .d, so it is a part what we call as a daemon file. So daemon, what you can say, it's a main system process files. Okay, so we cannot do lots of things changes in this part without having the knowledge, because it will affect directly to the operating system, because that are the main you can say the processors files. So we don't change directly without having the proper knowledge. Okay, so that we call as a daemon. That is a main system process of operating system. Okay, so here you can see we have this sudo file is available. So there what you can do, you can just type cat sudo. You can see permission is denied because ls-l. If I see, so only a root or normal user can able to access it. But when we have created bench, it is a third user and it don't have the permission to even read or write and execute is always not there. So to change, what we're gonna do, we will just switch to the su Kali user, and then we can enable to, let's try to check that even Kali user don't have the permission. So now here what you can do, we will use sudo, then you can use sudo, then it is the password, and then you can see this is the whole file structure is available like this thing. So this is the whole permission is given. Now here you can see user privilege specification. So for a root, everything is allowed. This is the structure that we follow actually, that we call as all and all. This is actually format. It will showcase that any person who have this all that is, all the systems, application files and folders, so they all have the permission. Now when we add some sudo as a user, so there you have to add the name. Now you can edit this file. Let's suppose I will just go to the sudo nano sudo file. So I enter into the new dashboard. Okay, now it is showing that sudo is mean to be read only, so we don't have the execute permission. Okay, I cannot, I think, edit. Let's suppose I can go to the downward, and here we will add a ben user, and then same format I am using it, all. Then we have to save the file. To save the file, you can use Control C, or if you are using a Mac, you will save the file into the Command S. Or here you can say these are the shortcuts available. These are the shortcuts that you can use. To exit from the file, you can use Control X, so that you can see the short form is Control Exit. So when you do Control Exit, you will be available. Let's suppose you have changed something again, like some file data. I will just here I'm adding as a comment, because hash and whatever the things you will add it work as comment on the file. Okay, now you have to use Control X, so it will come a one pop-up that you want to save the buffer. Buffer means whatever we have write, so you will type yes or y. Then it will ask that you want to change on the same file or you want to rechange the file name. So we will just use the same thing. You just hit enter. You will come from that particular terminal. Okay, now you can switch to again ben user, and then let's suppose if I want to type the apt get update, I want to update the system. So here it required sudo that is apt get update. It asks for the password, and you can see it is started because I have added ben in the extra permission in the sudo category. So now as well as Kyle is also working as a sudo user, but I also added ben user also into that same category. So any one of them can act as a root user if root or any one user is not present. Okay, so to access root privileges or root commands, we can use sudo just before any kind of command you are executing. Okay, here you can see if I use normal as a cat/etc/shadow file to see the password, it will showcase it is don't have the permission denied. But the same time if I use sudo, because we have added this thing in a sudo file, so there you can see you can able to see the password of the user we have. Like see, Kali password is this is the thing, and the ben user that we have recently created. So that's the thing. Okay, so that's how you can switch. Let's suppose you want to create a file, simple any file. So you can type like a nano file.txt. So you will hit enter. Let's suppose we have added something. Okay, after adding the content, you have to use Control X to exit, or you can use Command X in the Mac. So Control X, it will give a pop-up that you want to save this update modification. So you will type Y for the yes, then it will showcase that this is the file you have. You can just enter hit file. That's it. Right now it is showing a permission denied because we are editing into the etc folder. So we have to just simply exit, and the same thing now I can use it into the sudo nano because I am working as a normal user. That's why it is given error. And then you can add some data. Control X, modify yes, and then hit enter. You will outside. Okay, so that's how as a normal user you can able to add it on different location. Okay, one more thing, remember that whatever the users we are creating, okay, they have their own limited workspace. Workspace you can define, it's a area that they can create files, delete files, they can save their whole part. So that is the home. Home is a main directory, or you can say the folder where all users workspace is handled. Like whatever the new user you will create, so that will be created like /home/user when we have created, /home/Kali user we have created, /home/Ben user we have created. So their workspace is only limited to that area. And when they switch to any other particular what we say directory or workspace, so they require a permission. If they are a sudo user or they are a normal user, so both have different access. There you can see we go to slash. Now here you can see all the 16 directory. This slash is donate as the main storage of memory. Maybe we are using SSD or maybe we are using a hard drive of the storage. And then we have created the first workspace for the root user, who is the owner of the particular owner of Linux. So this user can travel any directory. You can see we have home, then we have the library, media file, some operation related files, process, service. Okay, this all things you can do. But there you can see we have home folder. So home folder is dedicated to only the any kind of users there that you will create. So right now if you go to the cd/home to change that particular part, right now we are into the main whole hard drive, the memory location, that is a slash. Now I am going to the home directory. Now in the home you can see we have two directories available, one for the Kali user and the second that we have created recently for Ben user. There you can see. Okay, yesterday I think we also created for the dash. So here you can see 3 users, 3 their workspace. So they are only limited to their workspace. Let's suppose I am login as a Ben user. You can type here who am I. You can see I am login as a Ben user. But if I travel to the Kali workspace or Kali workspace, so there you can see I am right on the /home/Kali. Now here if I want to create a file, okay, I am just creating a one empty file, touch hello.txt. It will show permission data. Let's suppose if I use nano hello.txt. So there you can see directory is not writable because the workspace is belong to Kali user and I am logged in as a Ben user, so I don't have. Okay, so I have to exit, and if I'm a sudo user, so then I can able to edit this thing because I have or I acting as a root user. That is the thing. You can see you can type Control X, modify the content, save the file. So you can see this thing is available. Get that hello or ls. So hello.txt file is added when I act as a sudo user. But if I act as a normal user or login as a normal user and try to edit or delete something, any kind of activity we want to do, any other user's workspace, so you cannot able to do. That is how the permissions and users are managed. Okay, so you can switch, you can do update and edit. This is the things that we have. So I think Neville, I think I have given all the answers of your question. Let me know. Yeah. No, that is not possible because like we have created a directory, that means it act as a folder. So I cannot change folder into the file because in folder we can create multiple file systems and that part. Actually that is the thing is that. Let me showcase you that way with a simple example. So let me just simply switch to Kali user. Okay, now we'll go to the cd/home/Kali workspace and the desktop. Okay, right now we are in the desktop. So there you can see these are all the things we have. If I type ls, you can see all the things like hello, some PDF file, some PNG files you can see here. So same, I am working on the desktop of Kali. Okay, so if I create in a simple if you are using nano to create any file, it always create a normal file. Let's suppose if I just type as a nav and I didn't given any kind of extension. Okay, no .txt, no .pdf, anything, just a name. So if I hit enter, you can just write anything and then you can just save the file. You will see the file is available as a .txt. You can say plain text document. Only you can creating a folder or directory when you are using mkdir folder 1. So it will always create as a directory. There you can see. And folder you cannot able to change into the file. You can add something into that particular folder too. If you want to switch to cd folder, I will enter and you can see I am working as a this location. Now in this location, if I want to create some empty file, so I will just use touch command to create an empty file. File 1, I can go to file 2 and 3, and same thing if I create mkdir folders, so like fold 1, fold 2 and fold 3. So these are the things now created into the folder 1. You can just double click on this graphically. We can see folder 1, 2, 3 and the files. So you cannot able to reverse that thing. It's like same thing we have in Windows and Mac also. So that's the thing is that. Now if you want to switch to folder in that also, so you can go to the, or you can type here ls command. So see, we have 3 type of files, which is working as a text document, and this is working as a folder. Also, one way to verify that you're editing with the files or folders, you can type ls-l. So it will showcase a detailed file. Now whenever you have shown some folder, the directory, it will showcase here. You can see a special D sign before the permission. But if you see any normal file, you can see it is showing as a normal dash because it's a normal file. But if you have a directory or folder, it always showcases a D. That thing. So that's the way. Yeah, please ask. L you are talking about, right? L I didn't see in this particular location. L. Hmm. No other thing it will be. If there are any kind of normal files like document PNG file, it always showcases a dash. There will be no other special character apart from D. If it is a D, that means it's a directory. If there is a dash like this sign, so there is a normal file, any other file. That's it. No other character you will see in this place. There you can go. If I go one step back, CD double dot, you will go one step back folder. Okay, there. And if I type in ls-l in the desktop, so you can see this is the image file .png, .jpg. It's an image file. This is a normal text. Then we have this some PHP, that is a PHP language file. Then we have some PDF file. Then we have some HTML files which is support to web browser. So every kind of different files you will see dash only, no other sign. And if it is a folder or directory, it always showcases a D. So only D you have to check. Rest if you see dash, that means they are the normal files. If we can open it, read it, or we can modify some content. That's it. So yeah, so that are the basic differences. Of course, we have to take time to invest on the Linux platform. Then this will become a routine part. Of course, it's a first time you all are learning this thing, so it will take time to understand, to check out, go through, come again with more questions, so we can clear it, because these are the basic things we have to do. Reason is that why I'm teaching this part, because if we talk about different softwares that we're gonna using in the upcoming days to do perform attack, password attacks, getting a system hack and all that stuff, so they all are almost 70% softwares are built in command line tool actually. So there is no graphical, only you can see that graphical screenshots or proof of concepts that the system is got hacked, that thing. So maximum work is handled on the command line interface. That's why we have to cover these basic things. Okay, yeah. Now if I go to the chmod, correct? So which I think the command sheet you are working, so I can showcase you according to that. This any cheat sheet that you're following, because I have shared 2 or 3. So I have gone through with all the commands one by one, which we have covered in the last 4 days of the training curriculum. These are the basic things that we are using, like creating a file, deleting a file, copy, paste, all that's commands. Yeah. Okay. So we have seen ls command, we have seen pwd command to change. Now let's suppose we have to copy some content. So there is we have the command called cp and mv. Okay. Like these are the things that we have to do practice actually. So we have 2 type of command is available. The one we call is a mv, that move the file content, or you can say folder. Keep cp is used to copy the content or folder. So the shortcut, if you talk about as a reference with the window, so move is used for control plus C, that is copy, and then control plus X, that is copy and paste. sorry, I think yeah, control move means I can simply control X and control C, that is we will cut and paste it. Same thing you can use instead of control you can use command in the Windows, while it is use ctl plus C, that is copy and then paste. So I think control yeah, this will be control V. Okay, so ctl plus I think yeah, this is done. So it works as a copy and paste. That's how this works. So there is a very minor difference. We have move is used to control X, control V. I just cut from that location and then paste to somewhere else. Okay, here you can see. In the desktop, not okay. Let's go to the CD, one step back, and let's go to the documents. So ls, we have nothing. So first thing we will create a file, nano file1 .txt. Now, hello, how are you all going good? I've created some copy content, that's the thing. Okay, then save the file, control that. So you can see the content of the file is available here. Okay, now what I will do, I will create a move command. So mv file1 and I will creating a new file. There the content of the file1 will totally cut and paste onto the new file. There you can see. So if I type ls, you can see the file1 is not available because we have cut it totally and then paste into the file2. So in the file2 you will have the all data, you can see. That means it's a control X, control V, or command X or command V. But let's suppose if I use cp command, so it is a copy paste, we are not deleting the present option. So we'll go file2 and now I will type here file1.txt. So you can see we have two row path. The previous is already existing, but we have created a new one. So if I type cat file1, you will see the content here also, and the same content is also available in the file2. Okay, so that's a minor difference, but I think everybody have got the option, idea. So when you are just like you're transferring some data from your system to the pen drive or external hard drive, so at that time I think we use control V, control X and control V, that is the cut and then paste somewhere else. But you have to copy or paste, so then you can use cp command. Okay, any doubt in this two command, let me know. All clear? Okay, so these are the things that we have to do practice. Now for a reference, I already given some command cheat sheet. So if you type a Linux cheat sheet command, you will get lots of things are available, like what you can follow to do practice. Okay, so here you can see we have a cheat sheet is available. I think this is not to use for now. Unlock, why it is asking for password. Okay, so if you go through with this all the cheat sheets, you will get all the commands and examples. Like here you can see, like why we are using ls command. So ls is used for list all directories, the command meaning and the syntax. Syntax is what you have to use to command. ls-r, so it will showcase all the current directory as well as all the files and their subdirectories. Okay, so subdirectories look like something this way. If I go there, let me go to the cd back, cd desktop, and here if I type ls-r, capital R, it will shows like this thing, like the normal ls will give you as an output this, but when I use -r, so it will give its subdirectory option also. Like we have created the folder one, and then there you can see all their subdirectories data content. Like one level internal also it is showing. Same thing we have this Folina, so there also you can see the same thing. You can see. So that's how the thing is actually working with the command. So this command sheet you can also follow to understand lots of commands available. Like you have to use cd. So cd is used for to check the which change directory you have to do. You are in the root directory or home directory, or if you want to go, you can see move to one level up directory, means that is a back. You want to change some directory locations, you have to type the cd and that particular directory name. Like desktop you have to go, so you can type cd desktop. You want to create a directory, make directory mkdir, and then the example you can give it. You want to see some output of the file, you can use cat command, or multiple output of file, you can use something like this combination. Remove directory we have covered. Move I have showcased. Find is used to search some data from the file. Okay, grep is also available, don't worry, I will showcase that thing. And here we have some more commands like history. So history is used to showcase the previous commands that I have used till today after the login, you can see. So these are the previous commands that I have used, like, so all the commands you will be available to see the previous commands. So that's how I think dash you can go through to do practice. Apt you can see sudo. So sudo is a allow user to run programs with the security privileges of root user or super user. Apt get command we use to install new softwares or packages into the Linux environment. Det simply that you will see calendar cal who am I, this other. So you can see file permission we have talked about yesterday. So user group and others. Read write execute all three. So it would showcase like this. How you can change, you have the chmod commands are available. Okay, so these are the basics commands you have to use. Of course we have some these advanced commands are also available. So if you want to explore it, do practice and then come with this simple example is also given that you can try to create or change that thing. That's the thing. We have more commands and these are some basic testing questions are available. So I think this thing you can follow all if you want to learn the theoretical concept also, because in Linux environment we have more than 5,000 plus commands are available, remember it. So it's not possible to learn every commands. Even I don't know all the 5,000 commands. So we have Google is available, we can take help of with Google and we can search that what I can use to perform that particular command. So there is no issue. Only the basic things I have covered actually in the Linux, because Linux is again a very vast area to learn and to practice on different commands. So I recommend that go through with the basics ones. When we comes into the doing more practical things, so at that time maybe some new commands will come in our mind. So at that time we can learn that thing. Okay, so that's the concept we have to follow, because Google is available. So from there we can search some new commands and approach how to find new things. Okay, so do this thing, all the commands and that part. Anybody have any other question, any doubt is that, let me know. Anyone? No one have? No question? Yeah, please. Yeah, please ask. Uh, just you can ask again the question, because I not properly understand. Like creating a machine or visual you are asking. Yes. No. This is not the. Yeah, I got the question. Okay. So see, here the environment, how the environment is working. I explained that virtualization part, correct? So the main hardware we have the laptop that we are using. Maybe we are using the Windows or Mac. Over that we have created a environment called. Over that this operating system is running. That we call as the host operating system. Okay. So in my case scenario it is Windows 11. In maybe your case scenario we are using the Mac OS. Okay. Now over that we have created the environment virtualization. Virtualization that is managed by the Oracle VirtualBox, that software that we are using. This is the software. Okay. Now here we have created the operating system called Linux. That is so the resources that it is using from the main hardware. Like the resources are RAM, storage we have. Okay, and the processors and all the graphic cards and that thing. So here the network is also created. So it's called the virtual network. This is what we call the virtual network. It will be the net, or maybe the bridge we have. This thing. Different network connections, BRIDGE, or maybe the host only. So this is what we call the virtual network concept. There is no VPN. VPN is actually used. It stands for virtual private network. That is giving you particular private on public network. You can say it's a private tunnel it create when we doing any kind of communication over the internet. So our communication will be encrypted and secure. That's the how the thing is working. So VPN is a different concept, and virtual network is something we are doing a bridge. We are taking a resource of hardware resources and creating a one virtual environment. So all the thing is working as a virtual, but in the background taking a hardware resources, the real system resource. So this is not the same we call as a VPN. VPN is a different thing because there we require some software to access, to authenticate the communication. So there we require some verification key, what we call as a private or public key value to authenticate. So that is required. That we also in a showcase. I will showcase in the upcoming classes. Then when we do the practice. So here the communication will become encrypted. But in this above, the communication is not encrypted because we have to enable VPN and then we can able to secure the channel. So that's the difference we have available. Yeah, I think now you got the answer. Okay, so both are different things. Of course, the same we using in the network environment, but different scenario. Okay. No, any other question apart from this? A virtual private network, we have to require some softwares to create it. Okay. So through that software, we can access because it's a part of something called. We have to require one VPN server application and then another VPN client. So from that client, we require authentication file, and whenever we log in, it will be authorized from the server. So through there we can integrate. It's a software service we have to enable it. Then we can create VPN, or we have the client applications are available. So through that client application, we can connect with public servers. So that's the thing we do. It's not from our side. Actually, we have to create manually with some applications. That's the thing. Internet is required because the concept VPN is comes that if we require some private communication or encrypted secure communication over the internet, so VPN is introduced because in internet we already are doing the communication. We have multiple connections are available, but we don't know that anytime we can got hack or anytime our information got breach. Okay, because we are connecting on a remote location from different country to country on the internet. So some solution we have to require there. So that's the part where VPN is playing their important role. That on an internet connection, how you can do a communication in a encrypted format, like in a secure format. So that tunnel process is created by the VPN. That's how VPN is actually working. So internet is also required, of course, because that's a communication channel we are doing. If we have a private large network connection, there also we can enable VPN to perform the secure channel. So actually the concept of VPN is to provide you a secure channel through which you can do the communication. This is how the thing is work. So if you are working on public network or private network, that doesn't matter. Okay, only the thing is matter, it is providing you a secure channel like VPN client and server. So when we have a normal internet access, you can see we are directly connecting to main internet and server part, while in the VPN what actually happening, it's creating a one secure channel. So whatever the data is traveled from there, it will be secure. Now you are working on internet platform or you are working on a private channel or some network company network, even there also it work. So it doesn't affect that you are working on a public network or you are working on a private network. In both the case scenarios, VPN will work same concept because the main work of VPN is to provide a secure channel. So whatever the data, whatever the communication we will transfer from the one device to another device, it will be goes as a secure platform, as a secure data, encrypted data. So that's the main objective of VPN is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So if the internet is not secure, of course, internet is not secure. First thing, because it's a public network. Now we want to communicate with some person or your friend in a secure channel. So there you can use VPN. Or when we are doing a normal browsing also, there also we are using a VPN because we don't have to reveal our own identity, our own IP location, or what are the things we are doing a search. So there, in case we can use VPN. So these are the case scenarios where we use VPN. Yeah. Did you got the answer or the concept you have not clear? Let me know. So that you can, I will explain that thing also. That we what we're gonna call is that how to become secure yourself first. That is the first thing I will teach you on internet. Okay, that's the same concept we call as. In that place we use VPN, we use other more things. So I will explain that whatever the things we are doing on a daily basis, it is not secure. Okay, so the first thing when we are doing a browsing or accessing data from any place in the world, how we can be do the same thing in a secure channel. Correct. That I will explain it. You can do little bit research also because VPN have different types is available. But the main concept of VPN is to provide you secure channel. That's it. It will be a public network, it will be a private network or on the internet. That doesn't matter. So to secure yourself, to secure your identity, you can use VPN because it's your private channel over the internet. That's the main thing is that. Okay. So you can hide your data, you can hide your identity and your information while surfing on internet or while watching any video, downloading any video, transferring some files, doing mail, anything you are doing on internet or the daily tasks that you do. Okay. So that's how the locations and information is hide with the help of VPN. That's the thing is there. Okay. Now how to become secure, I will explain that thing because there are multiple plugins and more things are there. We'll discuss in a very broader mind. Okay. Yeah. So you got time, you can just search about more different type of VPNs and how it is work. That research you can do it. Okay. That is not a problem because the more you do research, the more you learn. That's the main motive is there. Okay guys, so we'll connect tomorrow same time. Do practice. Of course, the practice when you do, you will got some questions and queries. So please try to ask on WhatsApp group also we have created so that you will get the answer at the same time. I think when you are doing practice, so you don't have to face more difficulties. And of course, in the class we will discuss and I will showcase you with more examples. Correct? Yeah. So that's I think all. Anybody have any other question is there? Then let me know so we can discuss that thing. Else we can wrap up for today's session and we'll connect tomorrow. Anyone have any question, query? No one? Okay. So yeah, do research. Any kind of question comes, hit me on the WhatsApp group. I will provide you the answer or solution or any reference link so you can do watch a video as a understanding. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. We'll connect tomorrow. No problems then. Do practice. Any question comes, always be there to help you. Yeah. Okay guys. Thank you.